highlight the importance of the internet during the 2 years that we've been apart. And we thought that we'd bring in a speaker that helped keep us together and connected during that period. Julie Nolke is a fabulous, incredible comedian on YouTube with a series of popular videos that became viral with, I think, most of the people that I know. They were spreading around the video series this weekend. Explain the pandemic to my past self. If you have not seen them, I'm sure you have seen them, but if you have not seen them, they are phenomenal. And these are the types of things that kept us connected with one another as we passed them along, and we felt like we were more together. So I'm asking Julie to come up here and say a few words to us, and thank you for what you've done.
Thank you.
The importance of what it is we do.
Thank you. Wonderful. Well, thank you for having me. You guys, congratulations on 10 years. I mean, it's so cool. It's such an amazing feat. And I want to say, as a YouTube creator and an online personality, thank you for what you do. Because you honestly make it possible so that people like me can create and make our dreams come true and have people find us. So give yourselves another round of applause. I wanted to give you a little bit of background. I mean, that was an incredible introduction. Thank you so much. You made me sound like a rock star. I wanted to give you a bit of background about my story because I think it's directly related to the work that i2Coalition does. So I'm Canadian, which is why, thank you, which is why it's so nice. I'm originally from Calgary, which is, if you're not from Canada, fuck nowhere, really. Are you Calgarian?
No, but I can speak.
Oh, okay. So, in Calgary, much like in the States, if you're choosing to be in the arts, I always knew I was an artist. I knew I was a creator, but this is at the time where there was really no options except the traditional industry. So I had to be an actor. You kind of have to pick your lane. You're either a writer or you're a director or you're an actor. It doesn't matter if you want to do all things. And so ultimately I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be an actor, and in Canada, you either have to go to Vancouver or Toronto. And I went to Toronto because it was farther away from my parents and they would visit less often. So I go to university in Toronto to become an actor, and I spent way too much money rolling on the floor, crying. I broke my hand doing interpretive dance. I can't believe they can give you a degree for acting, but I managed to graduate. And once again, this is like early stages in YouTube. So my path forward to doing what was my dream, which was creation, was, okay, now I have to get an agent, and I have to start auditioning, going up in front of casting directors, and then producers have to approve me, and then networks have to approve me, and then I get to do my dream. And then I get to be famous. That's the whole goal of this whole thing. And I attempted that. I attempted that for a really long time. I actually attempted that for 7 years, and I did not book a single job. And it's not for lack of trying. Like, I was auditioning. I spent a shit ton. Can I say shit ton? Oh, I just
absolutely.
I spent a shit ton of money on acting class. I was out of money, and during this time, I decided I wanted to take control because I was really tired of these gatekeepers. I was tired of the agents not saying I was good enough. I was tired of the casting directors not saying I was tall enough or funny enough or whatever it was, and I wanted control because I knew I had a voice and I knew I had something to say and I wanted to share it. So I started my YouTube channel for 2 reasons. One, I needed practice in front of the camera and I ran out of money for acting classes. And 2, I had shit to say. I had jokes I wanted to tell and characters I wanted to create. And so I started to make them. I started to create these little videos. And you know, when you're making content weekly, as one does on YouTube, you kind of get good pretty fast. I mean, my writing, I was like really finding clarity in my voice, and I got to wear all the hats. I got to be the editor. I got to be the writer. I got to be the producer. And so I had built this kind of little business that was just chugging along, you know, and it was giving me that satisfied thirst quench of creativity. Cut to 2020. So just so you have reference, in 2019 I got married, and my husband and I booked our honeymoon in Japan in 2020. It was going to be beautiful for 3 weeks. And I also was turning 30 in 2020, and my mom and I booked a trip to Ukraine. We were going to go visit the homeland, and that one unfortunately is still not yet replanned. We'll see if that happens. But I have all these plans. March hits, and we're not even talking about traveling now. We're talking about I can't get toilet paper at the store because the shelves are empty. And I was like, this is post-apocalyptic. Like, I could never convince myself in March of 2020, I didn't even know what Zoom was before March of 2020. And this idea hit me, and you referenced it, this explaining the pandemic to my past self. What if I could go back even 2 months when I was planning that stupid honeymoon? Like, that seems so trivial now. And so I made this video. I post it. This is the beauty of YouTube. You get an idea, you make it, you post it, I go to bed. I go, come on, that's another video. I'll make another one next week. I keep making videos. I get a call from my sister-in-law the next morning. And she goes, your video is blowing up on Facebook. And so I quickly go on my computer, and sure enough, Facebook does this thing where when you have like lots of people watching, you can actually see how many active people are watching at once. And I looked, and the little icon says 5,000 people. 5,000 people were sitting on their computer or on their phone watching my video right then and there. And they weren't just Canadian. They were from the UK, they were from India, they were from Vietnam, they were from Brazil. And then I get another call from my friend, and he goes, you're on the front page of Reddit. And I was like, what, like the center of the universe, Reddit? It's like, yes. And he's like, it's not just Reddit videos, the Reddit front page. And sure enough, I was, and I go to my YouTube channel, my video has 1.5 million views, and it just skyrocketed from there. I think right now that video has over 40 million views. Oh, yeah, so surreal, right? But the coolest part of this whole thing is, like I said, it wasn't just Canadian. It was the world. I was having people message me. Like I couldn't even respond to all the messages saying, "Can we translate this? I would love to offer you the translation to put this in Turkish. I would love to offer the translation to put this, in Spanish, because I want to share it with my family." And it was kind of spiraling into this beautiful thing. And I think the video did well for a couple reasons. One, this is the first time in my life that the entire world has been on the same page. We all collectively shared something that was relatable. We were at home. There was a lot of anxiety, there were a lot of unknowns, and my video was one of the first things that allowed people to really digest and process and have permission to laugh. And I think that's what we needed a little bit. I mean, it was reverent, it was still very respectful, but I think it broke the tension a bit. And the other reason I think it did well is because, not that I don't love traditional film and television, but I do have a chip on my shoulder because I worked very hard to try and be in it, and they didn't want me. The Jimmy Fallons and the SNLs and the John Olivers of the world, they were having to make stuff from home, with one camera, with low budget. And it's like, welcome to the life of the YouTuber. We're doing it better than you. Yeah. And so I think I had this open path where I could break out into the internet. Anyway, just to tie it back into i2Coalition, I was able to share my creativity, my vision with the world. My audience found me. And as a Canadian who made something in her small little Toronto apartment, I was able to reach people. I had an authentic, vulnerable thought about the current condition and state of the world, and I was able to share it. And that is so cool. And I was able to share it without gatekeepers, without people telling me whether my vision was good enough. I found my audience and they found me, and I've got this beautiful honesty feedback loop, and they hold me accountable, and we've created this beautiful community. And I'll wrap up in a second, but I do interviews every now and then, and people ask me, now that you've gone viral, now that you've built this business, now that you're getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views per video, are you gonna make a TV show? And because everybody thinks like, oh, she's gonna move to TV, but the realities are like, I've got my own TV show. Like in Canada, the numbers I get these are TV show numbers, and I've got my audience, and I get I get to control and I get to share exactly what I want to share with the people that I want to share it with. And I just think that is so cool and beautiful. So I want to thank you guys once again for making it such that people that like me, who have, as corny as it sounds, who have a dream to create and to share their vision with the world, that you allow us to do so in a free and open manner so that we can find our audience. So thank you again, and thank you for letting me celebrate with you, because I think this is really awesome.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
Oh, of course.
Actually made me think,
Yeah.
when, that story that we told about Daryl Issa, the sort of inciting incident for our organization, this fight against Pippa. One of the people that we were working with very early on fighting that battle, his name is Alexis Ohanian. He's one of the co-founders of Reddit. And he was the keynote speaker for our very first
No way.
one of these fly-ins.
No way.
A number of different years ago. He wrote a book called Without Your Permission, which tells the story in part about our little fight that we had there. And I think that the title, what you were saying about sort of not having gatekeepers, reminded me of the whole permissionless innovation type thing that we've been talking about very early on.
Yes.
And hopefully the things that we do in this industry feel.
Yes.
Thanks
Wow.
for
Oh,
acknowledging
very
that.
cool.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
incredible.
Thank you guys.